Oh, man. What's up, Wyatt? Again, Wyatt's got a full body. Wyatt got his tube chassis rock bouncer. Hope to see him out doing some more racing with this season.
Oh, looks like he's on his way.
Oh, yes. Again, Wyatt's a good guy. We got to do some ride with him earlier this year. Had a blast.
This looks like Dylan Dowler on the line.
Sitting in that race line starting line.
Wow, the sun just came out.
It did.
It kind of threw me off for a minute.
It did. We were here this morning, and it was nice and sunny. Bree, you said on the way here it was nice and sunny.
Yeah, it was beautiful this morning. I was on this, 2-lane highway for hours going through the hills of Kentucky on my way here, and then all of a sudden the sky was, black.
Yeah. Zach said the same thing. He said we're on our way here. It's great. We're up there laughing. Next thing, it's like somebody just turned the lights out, and all of a sudden it started pouring down buckets. So hopefully it'll be decent weather from here on out. We'll see.
Some spring weather for you.
Those April showers bring Mayflowers, even though it's March.
But what do the Mayflowers bring?
People?
Pilgrims.
Yeah, people.
Get it?
Yes, I do.
Saw that the other day.
It's cute.
I had to share.
It's cute.
Feel free to use that anytime, guys.
Yes, it's cute. That's a perfect.
give you my permission.
That's a perfect dad joke there.
Dylan had a second place time on course 1. And Paul broke the Can-Am in the Cup class, and he should have been going before Dylan just now. So not sure what happened with our lineup or if he's working on getting it back together. Or we'll find out what's going on there, but could be good news for Dylan. I don't know.
Ooh. Oh, Clyde was saying there's still rain coming at 3 o'clock.
Well, let's just not talk about that. Let's not give it any attention.
Well, I said I always let
misbehaving.
I always let my phone change over to whatever time, but I keep my watch in Illinois. So it's 2:04 in Illinois, which means it's 3:04 here. So that means it's any minute it's going to start pouring here.
All right, come on, Dylan, keep her straight. 99.688 for Dylan Dowler. The time to beat out here right now is Justin Mitchell with an 88, then followed by Brandon Davis with a 90.1, and then Braden Upchurch with a 97.2.
You can see Jack, looks like Dan Carter pulling up to the line, that Rock Life Off-Road group. Again, Dan races several classes here with several vehicles.
All right, as usual, inappropriately.
I think Dan races the most classes.
I would agree.
Who else races 4? I mean,
that's he's the only one I can think of.
Anybody.
I asked him one time. I said, "What got you into doing the racing?" And he said, "Well, we just kept going to rail events. We started doing a little racing here, a little there, just some fun events." And I asked him how he teamed up with the Rock Life Road Group, and he said, "Well, they had a set of used doors for sale that were sitting in a booth, or they just happened to have for sale." Or I asked somebody, and they gave me his number, and I called, and he gave me a set of used doors, and the sticker for Rock Life Off Road was already on there. So he goes, "I just left it on there, and then later on, they need some other parts." And he's like, "Well, you're on my sticker, so I'll just help you out a little bit here and there." And boom, next thing you know, they're a couple years in.
That was the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
It is again. They also have a podcast going on right now, so it's super cool. They've been chatting it up with some UTV drivers and some different drivers from different classes, so that's kind of cool to see.
Where can people find their podcast?
I was going to the Rock Life Off-Road page, I think, is where I saw it, or Dan Carter usually shares a lot. Him and Brian Dunnigan have been talking a lot about it. They're trying to set up some mobile podcasts later this year to where they can come to a race and have 3 or 4 guys hop in and talk about it, which, again, is super neat to see, because when you get 3 or 4 guys chatting away, you kind of forget you're on a podcast and start telling.
That's when you get the good stuff.
Oh, yeah. Start telling stories and, man, come on, Dan. Yeah, so it's always a good time when you get a couple guys start swapping stories, and you can learn what to do just as equally as learn what not to do from some of those stories. So, yeah, Janet, we miss you too. This is Dan Carter again. For those of you just tuning in, we are on the second course. We just now kind of started our second course of the day. This is the UTV stock class. Rock Life Off-Road UTV stock class. Again, Dan Carter is the epitome of that Rock Life Off-Road. They're one of his sponsors, been teamed up with him for quite a while. I think he's also running those Super Grip tires, too. If I'm not correct.
If you're not correct?
If I am correct.
If you are correct.
Yeah, we hope so. I usually am.
That's just like heads I win, tails you lose.
Yeah.
Make a statement and say, if I'm not correct.
Yeah.
I like it. Throws people off.
I need to get I was telling Miles this year, I was like, I finally have to break down and get like a 3-ring binder.
$120.950 for Dan Carter.
I'm going to have to finally get a binder and start logging all it, because we've had so many drivers change chassis over the years, and so many drivers who have come in and raced the sport and left classes and changed stuff. It's getting too much to be able to remember. I'm starting to forget some of it, so I'm going to have to get a binder.
It is a lot to keep track of, that's for sure. And then we have new drivers join us, like Clay Mangum, who's on the line right now. He raced with us at Windrock, but I believe that was his first time racing with us.
Okay.
I know we have a couple other new drivers. We interviewed bouncer driver Clayton Smith. And who else did we talk to recently? I feel like there's another one.
We've had a couple interviews.
We played that interview earlier during Course 1. And we also played an interview with Justin Wills that we did earlier today. We had a couple requests from you guys for other drivers that we should try and snag an interview with, like Dan and Jody. We had a suggestion for maybe some of the spouses of the drivers.
That would be a great interview.
We should get Cheryl Davis. Cheryl, are you still watching? We need to interview you.
But we always tell Brandon for his tag it should be like Cheryl's husband. For Cheryl, it should be like Brandon's wife. She'd be like, it's just Cheryl.
She's like, you misspelled Cheryl.
Yes, she would too. She would. Yeah. I think Clay is absolutely getting it through here. Got like his cage at the top. Got some cool bars on the top of that.
We have 2 Clays and a Clayton out here this weekend. So if your name is Clay and you've never tried racing before, you might as well go ahead, because apparently it's a good fit for the racing world.
All right.
Sounds like Paul Wolf is pulling back down to the pits and going to give it a go for Course 2.
Again, it looked like all he did was break a ball joint.
And this is Clay Mangum through the finish line.
100.038 for Clay Magnum.
Oh, not right now, Cheryl. Maybe later.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
Be prepared.
Yes.
Start thinking about your stories you want to tell.
Yes. I'm telling you, we need to do like a girls.
Yeah, Cheryl and Chastity. Heckly.
Like a girls chat with get 4 or 5 of the wives together.
Throw Haley Hoback in there. It's going to to be great.
Yeah. And
the real wives of rock racing.
And start chatting and asking questions.
The real housewives of rock racing.
Yes. Yes. I love it too.
I am making a note.
They could get real ornery real quick. Like you guys don't even know.
This might need to be like a whole episode though, not just a little interview.
Because they're all pretty humble. There's no fluff there. They'll tell you exactly what they're thinking, exactly what they weren't thinking. Like it's like, oh, that's not how it works, honey. I can hear him now.
I have to make this happen.
Like, Matt, that's not how it works. Let me tell you. Sit down here, Matt. Let me tell you.
And we definitely have to give them a shout out at the Heckley, Hoback, Davis compounds for feeding us. And there's usually a few others in there, too, that contribute. So thank you to everybody for the wonderful meals, especially at Disney.
They took good care of us.
I enjoyed some great dinners, and it was better than the peanut butter and jelly that I probably would have had otherwise.
Yes.
So. We've got Tanner Garvin on the line.
Heading out through that race line, starting line.
Including Tanner, we have about 5 drivers left. As long as nobody, let's see, that is considering if Daniel Heckley is able to get fixed or not.
Again, I think Daniel had a ball joint, so I'm not sure what's wrong with his. I'm not sure. Paul had the front end not pulling. I don't know if it was a diff or a drive shaft. I'm not sure exactly what was going on there, but Daniel, I think, just had broken a ball joint, so hopefully get that fixed. I've seen some pretty crazy stuff get repaired at races before.
Oh yeah, where there's a will, there's usually a way.
Again, Tanner making quick work here this course.
We'll never know. You guys are watching Course 2 for the Rock Life Off-Road UTV stock class here at Wildcat Off-Road Park in East Bernstedt, Kentucky this weekend. We've also got round 2 for the VIN class and the RCB Axle UTV Cup class still to go. And then we've got another full day of racing tomorrow with our youth class, UTV Bounty, and the Brannick Motorsports Bouncer class, of course. We will see how much rain we get tonight and what it does to our race for tomorrow. But, hey, that's just part of it. Rain or shine, heat or cold. Basically, we're like male people, and we go out no matter what. We are the
M-A-I-L. We're like male people. M-A-I-L.
M-A-I-L. Mail delivery people.
Yes.
107.265 for Tanner Garvin. Looks like Scotty Harden on the line.
That's a pretty blue color too.
All right, Scotty too high.
Again, Scotty making quick work of this course here. Again, there's quite a bit of uphill and downhill sections. Again, you'll see today as well as tomorrow. So making sure you know the course is extremely important, because if you do turn too early or too late, that will be a DNF. So super important to have your lines picked out, what your race plan is ahead of time. We saw quite a few of the drivers out this morning doing some pre-running just to make sure they had the course laid out, as well as to kind of figure out what kind of speeds, what kind of gears you need to hit it in.
Matt, did you do your homework and study your map?
I run 14th, so my number is 14 I drew. So you can see that Scotty's got some pretty good set of tree kickers there. Helps in that little woods course. Again, some guys have some pretty gnarly tree kickers. Some are a little more mild. So I know Justin Wills and his new chassis added a set that was pretty radical to help keep them off those trees. Again, helps a lot of the side-by-side guys. You see them do a great job at it. Those side-by-sides come up and pivot around the tree. Travis Skelton was really good at it.
And hang on, let's get his time real quick. 110.141 for Scotty. And if you're not familiar with race lingo or vehicle lingo, when Matt says tree kickers, he means that part of what you might think of as, I don't know, like just something to step on when you get into the vehicle.
Like a running board almost?
Yeah, it's that tube that runs along the bottom side of the buggy, and it flares out in front of the rear tire, and that keeps it from, if you run up next to any trees, it keeps them from getting in between your tire and the body of the vehicle and getting you hung up. So having it kind of flare out just blocks it and keeps you from getting stuck on the trees.
Similar to like Daniel Heckley got hung up on a tree. So
he was wishing he had a little more of a tree kicker.
All right, got Daniel Heckley on the line. You might remember him from his first
Speaking of Daniel, he is on the line.
Hoping to redeem himself this time with an awesome run. Daniel Heckley.
It looks like you got that ball joint fixed there. I think it was a lower ball joint that had messed up. Again, took it back, got it fixed, and now he's back out running again.
Between the bouncer and his UTV here, Daniel's had a lot to work on.
Yes.
Yes. In just the last, 4 weeks?
Yeah. He dropped his big bouncer off
March?
with Timmy and kind of told Timmy, hey, listen, I'm really hunting the points. And Timmy said, don't worry, I'll get it fixed for you. So they were able to get it torn apart, cleaned up, welded it, ground down, and put it back together, welded it all up, and was able to pick it up, I think, on Wednesday. So, again, huge shout-out to Timmy and Daniel for able to get all that stuff put back together. Again, Timmy, who built the rig, was pretty familiar with it already. You know, he raced it for a couple seasons, sold it to Brandon. Brandon raced it for a season, sold it back to Timmy. Timmy raced it again for a season. So I think it has 3 championships and 4 seasons on it before Daniel bought it from him.
Hellbent's like a champion racehorse or
it
something.
Is. I said Timmy raced it, I think, 3 seasons.
Just swapping owners.
Brandon raced it
swapping
1.
Jockeys.
And then, it is. Yeah, same thing. And Daniel's raced it twice now, so it's been around for a while. Although I was pretty impressed to see the amount of carnage on it. It was pretty impressive.
He must have hit that tree really hard.
He must have. I think. I was telling people. I think he did the damage at Windrock.
If it was the same side, then that definitely could be.
The last little bit was hanging on, and it just finally, like another 90%, finally let go. 97.930 for Daniel Heckley. Again, this is the UTV stock class. Brought to you by
Rock Life.
I was look at your cheat sheet there.
Just think Dan Carter.
I know. I actually talked to Brian again too before a race event. He was down there running some GoPros.
I'll make you some flashcards.
I did get a binder. I hate to say it. I don't want. I want to be like that guy that can remember.
Just do it.
Just the guy that remembers it all. But I'm starting to forget stuff, so I'm gonna have to get a binder. Miles has one. When I saw he had one, I was like, okay. If Miles has one, it's okay. It's not.
I have one too. What about if Bree has one? Then I mean, have one.
That too, Bree. That too.
As you're sitting over here looking at my binder.
You know what? They don't need to hear that. Okay, Bree.
I'm giving away your secrets.
She is.
This is Jay Stortz, and then we've got Paul Wolf, and that'll wrap up Course 2 for the Rock Life Off-Road Stock Class.
Taking off through that race line, starting line. Oh, yeah. Again, we've seen Jay have some very strategic plans with flags before. Again, we saw him at finals last year when he just absolutely just drilled that race line flag. And with the whole time we were all at the bottom going nuts, cheering, high-fiving, because he was the first guy to climb that crazy course. So after 3 or 4 guys weren't successful, Jay did it. We were all jumping up and down, high-fiving. We were all telling him how smart that was. He's like, yeah, that wasn't the plan. It just happened that way. We all thought he was some smart mastermind guy who had, strategically calculated it all. And
sometimes things just work out.
And it was so funny because it literally just worked out that way. So we thought he was just some mastermind. He's like, no, it actually happened that way. Being the first guy to climb it, which was super incredible.
Go. Back up.
Get back on your wheels. Come on. If he could throw it in reverse.
Yeah, if he backed up a little, it might pull it down.
I see the wheels cut. He might be trying to. Come on.
He's going to try something.
Come on. Go. Yes! Yes! Oh, man. I was like, he was so close. I was like, if he just bumps it a little bit, I think he'll be fine.
The little razor that could.
Yeah. Again, there's about a 30-point difference between finishing right now and not finishing. 35, 32 points roughly, depending on how many guys are actually in this class. So that is super crucial that you get some type of completion out of this. Even if you're in last place, there's still such a big point difference.
And he had a 5th place finish for Course 1, so.
Again, trying to stay in that keep up in that series points for the season.
Made his way down that RCV ramp. He's sliding. Look at him go. We're going to have to call it RCV ruts instead of the RCV ramp. 118.539 for Jay Storts. That means Paul Wolf is going to wrap up course 2, and that'll finish our day of racing for the Rock Life Off-Road UTV stock class. Time to beat right now is the 88 from Justin Mitchell, and we have a replay of Jay Storts' save
again, here. You can see him hitting the brakes, trying to throw it in reverse there. Just gently came over onto all 4 tires. All right, this is Paul Wolf coming line, his factory Can-Am. Again, Paul had a front drive shaft or front diff issue on the first hill during the UTV Cup Series that he's racing as well this weekend. And then he has UTV Bounty tomorrow, so he's getting triple duty out of this side-by-side this weekend.
Man, it's almost like Paul's been getting a lot of practice the last year or something.
Yeah, he's got a ton of practice putting that can. He's been
we
racing.
all know that Paul is a wheel man for sure, and he has diversified over the last year and got into the Ultra 4 series in that racing scene, and we're glad to have him back out here with us in the NRRA this weekend, although some of the other drivers might not be too happy about it. Nah, we love having Paul out here. Everybody's family. Everyone likes to root everybody else on.
Wow.
And that is an 82.473, which is the fastest time on course 2. Paul Wolf, your leader for the UTV stock class today. Well done. We will be right back after this.
The Mickey Thompson Premium Mud Terrain is on the road and full of undisputed attitude. The Baja Boss MT. No compromises, ever. We are purpose-built tires for truck and Jeep enthusiasts everywhere. All mud tires are not created equal, and here's the proof. Powerply XD construction, asymmetrical tread design, extreme side biters, and more. Find your tire size today at MickeyThompsonTires.com.
All right, we are back. We just finished the UTV stock class. That was our second course of the day. Again, we'll go ahead and run through our rundown real quick. We had 13 guys that had buggies they were able to put back together for the second course. Paul Wolf coming in with that very last run you just saw. That's that number 1 spot with an 82-second run. Justin Mitchell coming in second with an 88-second run. Brandon Davis, 97 seconds. That's your top 3 for the second course of the day. Braden Upchurch, 4th. Daniel Heckley, 5th. Dylan Dower, 6th. Clegg Magnum, 7th. Kai Kohler, 8, Tanner Gavin, number 9, Scotty Hard, number 10, Justin Hoback, number 11, Jay Storts, number 12, and Dan Carter, number 13. Again, that was your Rock Life Off-Road stock class, UTV stock class. We have, I think, our VIN class coming up next. Again, we will do podiums probably right after this. I don't know if we'll be live, but we will go and do those. No, we're not going to do them live. Okay. So we won't do them live, again, depending on how much it's raining by then, because, again, it was supposed to start raining here at 3 o'clock, which we're about 20 minutes past, so. All right.
We've got Justin Hoback on the starting line in WT. That stands for work truck.
WT. Again, Charles Chris was the top spot for our first course. Don Curtis came in second. Dan Carter came in third, and Justin Hoback was wrapping up that 4th spot for our first course of the day. Kelsey Storts jumping in here to watch with us. Her dad put a pretty good run on that second course. I think our race line, starting line there, is starting to get a little mud on it. You can see it starting to sag a little bit in the middle. Usually the more mud that gets on top of it, the more it'll start to sag. That and the banner's probably getting a little heavy.
You're getting a little tired. Don't worry, there's going to be enough rain tonight to clean it all off.
Clean it all off.
Boom, got the banner.
Again, this is Justin Holback in the WT.
You know what? Brandon Harrison has been waiting patiently for me to announce our skinny pedal winner from Windrock, our first race of the season. So let's go ahead and do that now. Matt, can I get a drum roll? And that was Ethan Jones.
Heck yeah.
Ethan launched it through the finish line at Windrock.
Launched it might even be an understatement.
He got some really insane air. I'd like to talk to him and see what that felt like from his point of view inside the buggy.
He was essentially in orbit for a while.
I bet it was a little bit of a surprise to him. But, yeah, it won him a Skinny Pedal Award. That once again, thank you to Jonathan Shepard for partnering with us on that award again this year. Jonathan was Skinny Pedal Fab. And I know he has made up some cool trophies once again for all of those guys. So as always, we will post the compilation video from our Skinny Pedal nominees from each race to the website. You can go there, watch the video, get a little refresher on, what happened with everybody, who had the wildest runs, and then you can just click on the name that you want to vote for. It's super easy, and it's definitely another, I don't know, it's just fun to kind of have a way to make something a little fun out of the crazy and the wild runs that happen. Definitely not what these guys are usually going for when they're out here.
And
but
it's not one you want to win. But it's kind of cool when you do, but it's not one you want to win. Because if you win, that means usually bad things happen.
Usually, at least it means you were really trying, though.
Yes.
You were doing something.
Usually, unfortunately, it's some type of epic failure usually ensues. We've had buggies stuck in trees.
We've had a little bit of everything last year. Last season was our first time for the Skinny Pedal Award, and we had a lot of fun with it. And, just another way to sort of recognize the wild runs that might not be winning runs, but they definitely are entertaining. So that was Ethan Jones that won for Windrock. And Taylor, when will we have the Skinny Pedal video from Disney live? All right, it'll be posted on Monday, the video from our last race at Disney. You guys can go vote on that. I know I am already thinking of a few of those crazy runs that we had on
I
there.
can think of one especially that was pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm getting word that it's Madison, Clay, and Justin.
Well, Clay and Justin both left a tire on the hill.
But Justin
and finished anyway.
Justin had to, he lost his in the beginning and still had to climb hills with his.
Yes, Justin did crazy things, dragging the back end of modern Barney.
It was pretty impressive, I have to say. That's one of the coolest things I've ever seen happen to Bouncer. Again, this is a big ledge he's dropping off of. At one point, you could see the front tires and back tires. Oh, man. You could kind of see the front and back tires both off the ground for just a second when he's high-centered there in the middle. But, that's a lot of work to do in a full-body truck.
This course, this is a challenge for old WT. I mean, it's making it, though.
It is.
Just carving out.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Some of the dirt
Doing
there.
a great job.
Actually getting down to some drier stuff, it looks like. Maybe? Dry-ish? Come on, WT, you can do it.
All right, we're going to the sundial.
That was a 239.741 for Justin Hoback.
Uh-oh. I'm getting word that he busted his gas tank.
Was that Justin they were talking about?
I heard somebody say they thought he busted his gas tank, and then somebody else said, no, there's some just debris in the track. Maybe a piece of stump or something broke off. Had some. Okay.
All right, let's get it going. One more again.
This is Dan Carter on the line, and we've got Marley online saying we finally named it the Purple Blurple.
Purple blurple.
Talk
Okay.
about a tongue twister.
Yes. It is kind of purplish.
It is Purple Blurple.
Dan was parked next to me this morning. He was getting everything unloaded as I was unloading the bouncer to come over here. And it's definitely very unique looking. Got some multicolors with it. It's got a little rust on it, you know.
Yes, rust counts as a color in the VIN class.
Yes. But you know what? Like I said, I've had, and I tell people, a lot of people will call me or talk to me or message me at the shop and ask about, hey, man, I want to get off-roading. Should I go buy a Jeep? And what kind of Jeep should I buy? Usually one of the questions I ask. And they want to go buy some $40,000 Jeep JK, four-door JK. And I'm like, listen, go buy a $300 Jeep Cherokee. Take it over to an off-road park like Badlands Off-Road Park in Attic, Indiana. Take it over there and absolutely beat the crap out of it for about 8 hours. And at the end of 8 hours, you're going to either love this thing we do called four-wheeling, or you're going to absolutely hate it. And usually they come back with the biggest smile you have ever seen in your life. And you're like, okay, now we can start dialing in your vehicle, get a Cherokee, get some lift, get some tires, just have a little fun with it. And then once you get to where you're kind of out, your hobby's outgrown that vehicle, then you can start upgrading some bigger, better stuff. Maybe swap in some 1-tons, get some bigger tires. Maybe upgrade to a bouncer or a buggy of some type. But it's a really cheap way. Again, we've seen Charles Chris also racing a bouncer as well as Dan Carter. So a lot of fun here in the VIN class. The VIN Jeeps,
Yeah.
with the VIN class. Again, those Cherokees are a great way to get in the sport. They're inexpensive and they're a lot of fun, which, again, that's one of the reasons I'm kind of glad we added the VIN class, because it's a great way to get in the sport inexpensively and still have a lot of fun with it. As I say, this is as far as smiles per dollar, this has to be the best class.
Well, that's one of the cool things, too. We have 6 classes here in the National Rock Racing Association. It's not just rock racers. We have our UTV Youth class. We have UTV Stock, UTV Bounty, and UTV Cup classes. So pretty much anything you could want as a UTV driver. Then we've got our VIN class, which you see Dan Carter in right now. And then we also have, of course, the Bouncer class. So there's literally something for anybody out here, whether you're a young, brand new youth driver, or you've been around the sport for a while and you really want to get into the bouncer class, or you're not ready for that, or you prefer the UTVs.
143.631 for Dan Carter. Again, his Cherokee.
So if you think that you want to try some racing, maybe you've been watching the videos for a while, following what the different YouTube channels or whatever, and go to nationalrockracing.com and you can find all the specifications for each class there, and make sure you have what you need as far as safety and that kind of stuff. And then come on out, you can look up our schedule of events on the website as well, and hopefully one of those on there, one of our events and one of the parks we go to, will be close enough to you.
Yes.
We pretty much go all over the Southeast, as far as Oklahoma, west, and as far east as West Virginia. So yeah, go check it out and come on out.
Again, you and a buddy can build it, take turns racing it. It's a lot of fun. Again,
All right, the team is returned.
And if you're not a racer but you still love the sport, then come on out as a spectator. We love that you guys can watch online on Hillside Live. That is what Matt and I are here for, and we want you to be able to enjoy it, whether you're at home on your couch like Vince says he is right now, or on the recliner, or you're at work sneaking in a little screen time. Maybe you're in the school pickup line for your kid, whatever it might be. But if you've never been to a race in person either, I would definitely encourage you to go to nationalrockracing.com, check out our schedule of events for the rest of the season, and see if there is one that you could make work, and come on out and bring your folding chair and your cooler.
Heck yeah.
And have a good time with us.
Again, this is Don Curtis racing here in his full-body Chevy, trying not to slide past that turn. Again, we had a couple guys that were sliding through that with that slimy area right there. Again, Don Curtis has been racing last year. He was our season champion last year. Again, listen to that big motor roar. You can tell that's not a 4-cylinder or a 6-cylinder.
It's a battle in the VIN class between the Ford, the Chevy, and we had 2 Cherokees. The Grand and the not so grand.
Yeah, the Grand and the not so grand.
I had a Grand and a not so grand in high school.
Yeah?
So my dad was like, he would buy cars like at auction cheap and fix them up, and that's what my brother and I drove in high school. Like, get the water damaged one, or you know, my brother and I shared an Altima as our first vehicle.
Oh, a little Nissan.
Yep, and then I had a gold Grand Cherokee that I called Bling.
Okay.
And then I had, oh no, that one was just that wasn't Grand Cherokee. Then I had a regular Grand Cherokee, and then a couple others. I don't know. So I've had a lot of different vehicles over the years, but I really did like my Grand Cherokee a lot. And that's a 151.178 for Don Curtis.
Okay, we got Charles Chris pulling the line here.
In the not so grand.
In the not so grand.
If it's not a grand, does that mean that it's 100?
I don't know.
999 Cherokee. Dude, I did this. Rolling out the dad jokes today.
Well played. Well played.
We need to spray paint 999 on the side of it, and nobody will know why, but it'll be because it's not a grand.
Yes, because it's not a grand. You think he took his windows and doors off to save weight? Think he was trying to shed some weight there?
Maybe they just got in the way. I don't know.
I would love to see the weight of like the Dan Carter's Cherokee and then Don Curtis's truck.
And then like the WT.
Yes, yeah.
The Ford work truck.
Yeah. The 2 Cherokees versus the 2 pickup trucks weight-wise.
Look at the sun coming out again. Hallelujah. You guys are watching Course 2 on the VIN class right now. We already finished our Courses 1 and 2 for the Rock Life Off-Road UTV stock class. Now we're on Course 2 for the VIN class. And Charles Carris out there right now is going to wrap things up for us. And we'll move on to the RCV Axle UTV Cup class.
Ooh, Charles had to back up a little bit there. Again, but it's trying to hook that corner as tight as possible. And again, we've seen several drivers kind of start sliding down the hill there, trying to stay on that high side as tight as possible.
Thank you, Vince. Vince laughed at my joke. I appreciate that. Thanks for the support.
Yeah.
Come on, Charles.
The sun has graced us with its presence. Charles had the fastest time on Course 1, and he's making pretty good, quick work of this Course 2 right now.
Can you hear him actually move some tape around for the next course?
I don't know. He's easing down. There we go. Just send it, Charles. It'll be all right. Uh-oh.
Something, yeah, I get it.
Getting it.
He is letting her eat.
162.621.
Yeah, 162.621. That's interesting. Again, that's our end of our VIN class. We'll run through those real quick. Dan Carter, again, being able to hang on to that number one spot at a 143. Don Curtis coming in right behind him with a 151. Charles Chris at 162. And Justin Holback with a 239 in the WT. WT. Again, that was our VIN class that just left. Again, we had 4 of those racers. 2 Cherokees and 2 big trucks. 1 grand and 1 not so grand. But we'll get all our UTV Cup Series lined up here, and we'll be back right after these messages.
What you want? No matter where your ride takes you. Whether it's a quick trip or a slow climb. When you choose RCV Performance Axles, you're guaranteed to finish every time.
And we are back. So me and Bree were just chatting because we heard Clyde come on the radio and say there's a 3-way tie essentially for first place.
In the VIN class.
In the VIN class. We had Don Curtis, who had 2 second-place finishes, which, again, smoking, hard work, for that, pushing that big body truck. We had Dan Carter, who had a 3rd place and a 1st place, and Charles Chris, who had a 1st place and a 3rd place. Mm-hmm. So in that case, what we do, if we have a combined if we have combined points, what we'll do, or we have a tie in points, we'll have to combine the overall first run, overall second run. We'll look at the combined times, and that will decide who was in first, second, and third. Again, it's crazy to see a 3-way tie for points. Again, super crazy.
Have we come across that before?
I don't know. Have we ever had a 3-way tie?
For first place?
We've had 2-way ties, but I don't think we've ever had a 3-way tie. That's kind of crazy, again, to see a guy who's, I'm sure Don Curtis was thinking, hey, I got second place all locked up.
Yeah.
You know, again, we'll have to go to combined times.
And I didn't add up the times, so I don't even know who.
I was trying to eyeball it. I was trying to eyeball it there.
Actually,
I know. The problem is, I know we have fans.
Clyde sent it to us yet?
Yeah, we have some fans. He did actually. Okay. Cool.
All right, so we are going to move into round 2 for the RCV Axle UTV Cup class. We have Cooper Bentley on the line.
Looks like you can see them. Looks like they're all lined up there, just waiting to head up and start knocking it down.
That's because Garion is here today.
Yes, we appreciate.
She got those cats herded.
We appreciate her.
So what the UTV Cup class is running is going to be fairly similar to what they did on Course 1, but they are going to be coming down a new hill, sort of in the middle of that patch of woods section. All will be clear after we watch Cooper make his run, hopefully. All right, so if you're a visual person, a visual learner, here is the map from Course 1.
And this was what they ran this morning.
Yep.
Again, you can kind of see uphill, downhill section, and then this is 2. So similar a little bit. Again, going uphill, a little different area, and downhill. That downhill section, the last downhill section they come down is gnarly. I promise you.
That's that new strip that goes through the woods there in the middle.
It looks like a lot of fun, but it's a gnarly drop-off. I promise you. Again, the driver's side, not so bad. The passenger side, it's going to be a pretty interesting drop coming down that 4-foot little breaker there. So, again, big bouncers, not so much. With the UTV Cup Series, I think it's going to be a little bit different process. Again, hopefully those guys are stretched out wide and long enough that it won't be too much of an issue, but should be a good time. All right. It looks like they're getting course all clear, getting some tape fixed up there.
You just going to hide over there? Or you going to come on for a minute?
Yeah.
Clyde's like stalking. He's just hanging out around the corner.
All right, that's definitely some points. They're having a little tug of war over there.
Yeah. It's not like he's busy.
Yeah, like
Gosh.
what's he doing out here even? So Clay Kaysen had the fastest time on course 1 for the RCV Axle UTV Cup class. That was a 67.7, and then Cooper Bentley with a 68.4, and Casey Howell with a 70.4, Robert Trainer with a 74.8, and Cody Kaysen with a 75.5. Those were your top 5 from course 1.
What's up, Spencer Grandstaff? And Kenneth Cozine. Again, I owe a huge shout out to Kenneth Cozine for helping me out. Takes good care of us. He helps out. He helps out.
He definitely was coming in and grabbing a high-vis vest, a recovery, one of those neon yellow vests at Disney, so he could get out there and help out. So, yeah, definitely appreciate Kenneth and all of our drivers.
At our last race, he was encouraging me, helping point. He was helping me try a couple of different lines.
Yeah.
And you could tell it. Several people came like, he was just as frustrated as you were. So we had. I tell you what, our last course was so much fun. It was so much fun hitting some of those big hills. Again, a lot of fun to watch some of the other racing going on as well that weekend. But that course was a lot of fun. Big hills, but it was also a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. Again, this course tomorrow is going to be a lot of fun for the bouncers. I think you're going to see again one of the talking points. Me and Justin Willis were talking about this morning. Right before those two big rocks, you guys can see right kind of behind us in this area here. We have to come down a steep hill and make a 180-degree turn on a hill, like right here. Course 2. Look at course 2. Okay.
Goodness, these lights are bright now.
I lied. It's course 1.
Matt.
It's course 1. My bad.
You better study your maps
tonight.
All
right. Do you see that hairpin turn right in the middle of the screen? That is on a hill. So you're trying to come down and turn and go up a hill while on a ledge.
Only you had rear steer, Matt.
I promise you, we're probably going to see at least one rollover, if not a couple, right there.
All right, Cooper Bentley, ready to rock and roll.
Kenneth Cosine said, thank you guys. See you tonight. Again, he's been helping out a bunch this weekend. Like I said, he helped out at the last race, trying to give guys some pointers and keep everything going smooth. Again, gave advice if you needed it. If you needed it. He helped us keep our drivers in line at our very first race this season, so we really appreciate that. Again, Kenneth, a super awesome guy.
All right, Cooper is back to his roots in the UTV class after, 2 races.
Yes.
in a bouncer.
Yeah, 2 races.
He's getting after it. Again, I think having Paul Wolf back out here this weekend has, not that our drivers don't always come out swinging, but
it's a little more intense.
It puts there's a little more pressure, maybe. All right, so he's going all the way across and down to the woods here. This is that new trail that we mentioned. Oh, easy does it, Jack. Jack the drone pilot. There it is, right through the trees.
Again, Cooper making quick work of this course.
It's a lot of donkey kicking through
those
ruts there.
Flying through that finish line.
That's a 70.701. 70.701 for Cooper Bentley. First one on the course for round 2 of the RCB Axle UTV Cup class. We should have Paul Wolf on the line. There he is.
Here we go.
Let's see if he's about to set the bar a little higher.
Again, Paul racing that factory Can-Am. Big body there. Again, you might have seen him back when he ran the blue chassis with us. When he ran tube chassis. UTVs?
I actually raced one of his one time.
Yeah?
Like 3 years ago?
Yeah,
I don't know. At Dirty Turtle, I think.
He was always wicked fast in those blue tube chassis rigs.
It wasn't one of the. Well, it was like the very first one.
Yep.
He raced this first season with us, and I was supposed to race Travis Skelton's, and something happened to it, so Paul offered for me to drive his.
Yeah.
And it was pretty fun.
Yeah, that's a tight area there, especially coming through with that full body.
Gotta suck it in.
Again, right there, that hairpin turn. You're going to have to see the bouncers do that tomorrow.
Oh,
Paul
yep, with the
Paul had to
backup.
back up. Again, I know you're going to see a lot of guys
Gotta
trying to
get up on the high side of that rock. You can see how undercut it is on the downhill side of it.
You're going to see a lot of guys choose the rear steer there, but I think you'll see a few guys possibly even roll over there, trying to come down that section, make that, because obviously they'll be pushing hard, trying to make that corner as tight as possible. Wow. 7.9.549.
79.545.
7.9.
And Cooper had a 70.701. So Cooper still with the fastest time on course 2.
Again, just squeaking it past Paul. Again, Paul had to back up a little bit there.
This is Austin Connell in his brand new chassis. This is his first time bringing it out to race. Clay told us that Austin had pretty much just driven it around the house a little bit at this point, and this weekend is its maiden race voyage.
I think he said it's called Second Chance, is what he hinted at it was called.
It looked like it's on the driver's side. I think it says that.
There we go. Again, good-looking chassis. He said he pretty much built it in his shop by himself. So, again, really good-looking chassis, and Austin did a great job building it. Had a great first run. We'll see what he can do here in the second run.
Uh-oh.
That's going to hurt his time.
Man, you hate to see that.
Of those RCV ruts.
Yeah.
That's the new name.
Yeah.
We'll call this the Mickey Thompson Mountain.
Yeah, I like that.
Seems apropos.
It's a big, big, long hill, so mountain feels very appropriate.
We're not really getting the full perspective on camera because we haven't backed out to see the whole thing all at once that
Again,
well.
he kind of came down a lot farther on those ruts there and then brought it a lot wider out. Obviously had to back up, try to get over to that far right side of that rock.
Oh, no! Oh!
Oh! I think he...
Oh, man, he almost saved
So
it.
close.
He tried to turn into it and
He
ride
did.
it out.
Even after he landed, you could still see he gassed it one time, tried to put it back on its wheels.
That was a good try.
Man, had a great run there by Austin. You could see a little puff of smoke, too. You could tell he tried to upright it as he landed. Man, you hate to see that. Again, get back over there.
All it takes is that uphill turn with
Yeah.
those deep ruts that are in that section right there. Let's go to the replay.
Again, he was right there. Had a great run going. And it looked like he was going to be able to put it back on its wheels. Just took a little bit of a bounce trying to make that corner.
And if it hadn't hit the rut, I think he would have had it.
I agree.
It just stopped him. Wipe your shoes off before you come up. We have Mr. Wyatt Wilson joining us up here.
We were talking you up in the live feed, and then you said, we're on our way there. We'll be there shortly.
We've been trying to get here for, seems like forever.
Oh.
Yeah.
Taylor, can we get the mic on? We want everyone to be able
I
to
can hear myself now.
Yeah, okay.
whatever words of wisdom come out of.
Shoot, the sun's
Right
out,
now.
guys. Can you see this?
We don't even
I know.
know what's happening with
I
the
just got really
weather.
hot. And,
Yeah.
and moist.
It's like a greenhouse out here.
It
All
is.
the moisture in the
Exactly.
air
Yeah.
is getting heated up.
So what do you think of the course?
Well, it's tacking up.
Have you seen the maps?
I have not.
Are you racing tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm going to race tomorrow.
Are you-
Just the bounty, just the side by side.
Okay.
My big car's got some. It's got getting a ring
Are
gear
you
sticking
on
in
the
it.
list?
So here's the.
No,
Okay.
I messaged Clyde,
I'm
but
gonna add you
I'll be
now.
on the
This
first.
is
You're about to be
the
on the
two
list.
courses.
Oh
we're
my
racing.
gosh! Do you
This
see
is
how many
the-
turns there are?
There
now?
are uphill and downhill twice.
And I'll be first.
Oh wow!
So just be ready to be like, yeah, he's off course.
Well, I told Clyde we're going to have to put a lot more tape up for tomorrow.
Yeah, I need special tape, maybe even special
We need
arrows.
the
Can I
Wyatt
get
tape.
Can
Can
I
we
get
get that?
Justin Wills to get
Yes.
some blue
There you
go.
blue paint and just
Yeah.
like I go left of all the blue
Yeah.
dots or something? I don't
Brandon
know.
was laughing. He's like, I'm going to start bringing my own tape, put it up, just to
Everybody-
mark all my course off, just
Yeah.
for me.
Everyone needs to bring their own can of spray paint and your
Yeah.
color and just
Yeah.
mark it up out
You know
there.
what would happen then, though, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Like
Pandemonium.
you already seen what's happening,
Yeah.
anyways, right?
You
Yeah.
guys
So-
can barely stay
We-
on course
Yeah.
anyway.
yeah.
I mean, we literally need drive-by, just
Yes.
turn-by-turn directions
Yes.
in your head. With
It's
these
like
things
rally car
sometimes.
racing.
Yeah.
Like you just need
3
somebody
plus,
to
2
tell
minus,
you.
1 plus, 3 minus, 4 heavy.
Oh, Madison's about to go
All
here.
right, yeah, we've got Madison King on the line.
Again, racing the big buggy. How's it feel so far this year?
I mean, it's cool. I just I never have felt comfortable in it yet because I'm used to being in the middle in the single seat and
Yep.
seeing out both sides. But and I like to see my passenger side tire, so I've still not gotten used to that. I'm gonna sit in John Allen Campbell's next time I see his
Yep, Taz
chassis
buggy.
where he's single
Yep.
seat and like our side by sides very similar to our side by sides and
Did
stuff.
you
And-
race last weekend?
No, I haven't raced it all this whole season.
Okay.
We've been covered
I
up
didn't
with work.
think that
I'm,
I had seen anything from you, but
I'm so
it's
far
hard
behind.
to keep up with it all
Yeah.
on Facebook and whatnot.
Yeah, and my Facebook profile got stolen, so now I had
Oh,
to start my.
no.
That's why I have a different name now. It's because,
That's
so my Wilson
irritating.
Unlimited, my company page, and my Wilson or
Oh,
my
man.
Test Subject
Oh.
Racing page is all under that profile, so I can't open those. They
Oh,
still exist, but I
no.
can't access them. So
Again, this is Madison King coming down that new trail they made. Again, luckily she made a smooth run out of that. Got a little bit of dirt section here. Again, Madison and brother Nathan have both had great so far this season. Had a few little slip-ups here and there, but
man, Nathan had a little tumble coming
Dude,
down the
he
hill there.
did,
I was
dude.
watching on the live field, but they've got it all back together over there.
Are you
Trailing arm and
serious?
everything. They're ready to go. Yeah,
Get her
he's
done.
getting ready to. He's going to run.
that
So-
is awesome.
I just talked to his dad, and he's like, yeah, he's ready to go. He said he still doesn't have any brakes. And I said, well, I mean,
Yeah.
brakes are cool. But,
Yeah.
I mean, they're not a necessity.
Yeah, it's more of a
This,
recommendation at
Mickey
this
Thompson
point.
Mountain might be a little interesting
Yeah.
for him then.
Yeah, so I'd say that we need to be
He
watching
doesn't have
for.
any brakes?
I don't know. The word was
Or,
that he didn't have much brakes at all at first, is why he wrecked. So
88.339,
Say the whole thing.
88.339 for Madison King with that smoking run of that neon pink buggy she got.
man, she's been so impressive this year. hasn't
She has been, and we were kind of laughing this morning. I said she's done a lot of the hard stuff and then ended up rolling over or tipping over on some of the easier stuff. So
You
again,
know what? All that means is she just needs a little more seat time,
Yeah.
and she's going to be smoking all these boys out
She-
here regularly.
she has had a great year. Again, done a lot of the harder stuff. Got out and had a great run.
We've got Jason Mills out on the course now.
Yeah, this is one that I've not really seen before. I didn't get to see him run at. I guess did y'all say he ran at Windrock?
I can't remember.
if he was on. We had a big list of UTVs
Yeah.
at Windrock.
Yeah, I've been watching, but I haven't. I can't catch them all. Clyde's done a great job of sticking you all in a spot where you all can actually see the hills.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
yet still,
we got moved over to the center of the action this time. And
yeah.
one of the great things we were talking about Wildcat is how like spectator friendly it is, and everything is all on that one hillside over there. But there's still a lot that can be done within that space and
Yeah.
make a nice long course out of it.
Yeah.
Very, very much
And
so.
have everybody safe and can see very well.
Yeah.
Right across the valley.
Luckily-
into a tree.
Right there, that's that new downhill section. they had just cut, literally, you can see all the trees laying to the sides where they had just cut that this weekend. So it's kind of a fun little trail.
Well, especially this park is great to see in the spring before the leaves and stuff
Oh,
all get
yeah,
out, because
yeah.
we can see the entire race hill. Even
Yeah.
over here, it's harder to see. These are bounty style,
Yeah.
our big bouncer hills.
But yeah,
When the trees get leaved out, but until that happens, you can really see a bunch. So
Matt Buxton said that he was there. Jason was at Windrock.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And that this is Cheeky Barton's, although I do believe he meant Chicky Barton's.
Yeah.
But it's typed out as Cheeky Barton's
okay,
old buggy.
okay.
Matt is on it. Matt Buxton knows who was at Windrock.
Yes.
He's got us a couple of those so far.
Well, he's not.
He knows what was
apparently
happening at Windrock.
He's not working on a race car to come racing, it looks like.
Uh-oh.
So he's probably got time, seems like. Although I can't say anything because I think he did make it to Windrock.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I didn't, so,
111.471.
Our fastest time on course 2 is still Cooper Bentley with a 70.701. Cooper came out swinging.
He did. It's always
Yeah.
interesting when you see a guy come out and make a fast pass like that, and then it stands out of everybody else running,
So I wonder if, talking to Cooper, he loves the big buggy, of course.
Oh, yeah.
But it still seems like it's very difficult for him to pull out of the small cars.
Yeah, I think he enjoyed it, and being, I think he just thought, hey, this is going to be a lot of fun course. It'll be a good time to
Yeah.
play. Plus, a lot of the guys that race the big bouncers go, hey, we're going to basically go do the same course.
Right,
I can
right,
get some
right.
seat time. I can feel it all out. And
Well-
again, I think that helps you, if nothing else, learn your turns, learn, hey, how hard can you pivot here? How tacky is the course?
I could totally see doing that in Bounty.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure, because you're running exact
same course. Yeah.
It might be confusing for me to run it in a cup and then try
Yeah.
to run back and then run in a big car.
Which we were kind of laughing with Brandon Davis about that. He's like, man, I got to learn both courses. He said, I got to learn course. I said, that's only for the guys racing 2 classes. Kind of giggling. He goes, I'm racing 2 classes. I'm like, oh, okay.
Could you imagine if Dan got a big car too?
Dude.
So Dan's getting ready to run
I've
off
always
line.
thought.
Yep.
Dan already
could he-
races in 4 classes
I know.
right now.
I know.
So we need to get him in a 170
Yes.
in the kids class
I mean,
and a bouncer.
y'all got to up the age requirements
yeah.
for the youth classes. So
Yeah.
All right, if he gets a bouncer ever, I think we
Yes.
should call it Let's Get Dangerous.
Yes.
well, you realize Dan has actually won a raffle, and
for
I've
about
heard that.
and they
Yeah.
Reject Fab
Reject
owes
Fab,
him
yeah.
a chassis
Yes.
really for that.
And he's
bounty
talked to them a
stuff.
couple times about it,
Yeah.
and I think they, he wasn't exactly 100% sure what he was trying to collect some of his parts.
Yeah.
And they kept having guys order that, like, hey, we need the chassis right now. And Dan was like, I don't have all my parts right now, so we'll figure it all out. And I know Reject and those guys are working to get him set up. So
Yeah, Justin's
So it might
staying so
happen.
busy,
Yeah.
I think it's hard to get everything done, and Dan's not in need of it. But at one time, I think he was hoping that, the Misfit thing, he may be able to come up with some extra cash and get Misfit
Yeah.
a rolling chassis,
Yeah.
when Justin was going to be done, and then, Wade comes out of nowhere.
yeah,
killing hills like a madman, and comes up with that thing last year. So
and again, Wade has done very, very well with that buggy. So
You can see how hard Dan's working in there right now to try and get turned in the right direction as he was coming down that slick hill, trying to turn back uphill, that hairpin that Matt pointed out earlier.
again, I think we're going to see some big buggies tomorrow have problems there. With,
It's so greasy.
and you're going straight down, and you have to turn and go up a hill
Oh.
almost 180.
And-
So I think you're going to see some, I said that's definitely going to be an area to watch tomorrow.
93.039 from Dan Carter.
those big cars weigh so much
They
more
do.
too. Trying
They
to get
do.
them turned on a dime,
And we have
with
guys
no
who-
rear steer. Oh my gosh!
Yeah, and we have some guys with rear steer, but I think it's going to be interesting to see how
Right.
how it plays out. But
All right, we have Nathan King, and
Yeah.
first we have a quick replay from his tumble that he took on course
again,
1.
you can see that the front left side wheel
Yeah.
right here as he dips down. You can see it
Yep.
buckle right there,
Boom.
and the whole thing just tumbled fast after that.
Yeah, just carried a little bit too much speed.
He
but
did.
And he's looked like some trying to do gymnastics or stick
Yeah,
some
that was
crazy floor routine coming down the
That
hill
was a
like that.
heck of a run
Yeah.
for Nathan King.
Look at that landing on that rear of that
It-
trailer.
dude,
arm.
it
I mean, it's been trailer arm.
destroyed it, yeah.
This shows you the commitment that these
Yeah.
teams
How
they
did they
have.
get it back together
They've got
so
it all
fast?
back together. They got a
Tell me-
pile of parts over there.
Tell me that's
on a
not
tarp.
crazy.
Did
That,
they have like 10 people working
I'm
on it?
I'm sure they probably did.
Like, to see that and then to be like, oh, by the way, that was like an hour ago. We saw him total that buggy, basically.
Yeah. Then I walk up here, and it's all together.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
That's
so
impressive.
what's the deal? Is it going to be able to run? He's like, yeah, he's back together.
I mean, literally, he wadded the buggy up, like yard sailed it practically. An hour later, he's like, yeah, I'm going to come in third for the day. Like,
His pit crew is on point.
Like, it's just so impressive to see guys that, jump in, have some spare parts, can jump in and get it put back together.
Their dad has to be exhausted between
dude.
running up the hills and working on the cars.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nonstop.
And again, Nathan's always there hands in, whether it's his car or Madison's, he's always right there hands in.
Well, he better be, because I saw him in her car several times too. So he better be all hands on deck.
Again, awesome to see that family here, and I know they have a handful of guys that'll help him out, jump in.
Now he's heading down the Mickey Thompson Mountain with
limited brakes.
Limited brakes. What we've heard?
Yeah. Seems to be
But it
working
looks
well,
like it's
though.
going okay.
He came down pretty slow for having limited brakes, so.
Well, he may be in low
Yes,
and
that's
just trying to be easy on it.
That's true.
There's no telling. So. Well, and I heard you all ask the question earlier about Wade being back in a UTV.
Yep.
And I'll just answer that for you real quick, because he got my car running the other day. 'Cause you know Wade, he works on almost everybody's bouncer that's close. So he took mine for a spin when he got it running right the other day, and he got out of it, and about the first words he said was, "Get me out of this car."
Yeah.
Really?
I've had enough. So
Nathan just had a time of 83.978.
Yeah, that's good enough for third place.
that's not bad.
Not bad for a guy who
Considering
just
that trailing arm was super
considering-
rear steery a while ago.
Considering he just rebuilt the whole car like in the last hour.
Absolutely.
Paul Wolf's like, what? What did he do?
Tyler Bradley is on the line now.
I'd like to see Tyler have a good run.
Me too.
I know.
He's due for a good podium.
He is due for.
He is one of our most committed and consistent drivers to travel and show up to all the races.
Which is so difficult in its own
It
right.
is.
Yes.
Just the travel part is crazy.
I think all of us would love to see him up on a podium. And he's so quick to help other people.
Oh, yeah.
And that's stuff that I've heard from so many people. It's not just like one person has said that, but that is just like something that everyone knows about Tyler.
I think most of the racers out here have either come from a spot where they've all of us have all needed help at one point, or we've been in a position to be able to offer help at one point, and so we all know how nice it is to have a little help.
And my thing is that little bolt. I mean, if I drove 2 hours and I broke a bolt and you had one to give it to me, that would be like the nicest thing in the world. So I would gladly give you a bolt, wrench, whatever you need. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, you just never know. I mean, I went to AOP one time and picked up a front when I was racing the Can-Am. I picked up a front diff from CA Technologies on the way down there. Got down there and went to install it, and then realized Paul had drilled the bolt holes out on the bottom and put 12-millimeter bolts instead of 10-millimeter bolts. So when bolts I took out, I couldn't use.
Yeah.
And so Dan's over there rummaging through his semi-trailer and comes up with like 4 bolts in his hands, like, "This is what you need."
Here you go, buddy. Yeah.
It's all
carrying those hands together up. Like
we didn't realize it, of course, until the car is completely torn apart and it's going back together with it. So
it takes a village sometimes.
Yeah.
99.183 for Tyler Bradley.
Here comes Clay.
Man, Cooper Bentley still hanging on to that fastest time of a 70.7. But
we got
Clay
his challenger
Casey
right here,
is on the line, and Clay had a smoking run on course 1.
I guess Coop had number 1 time until she was first, and then Clay got him off
Cooper
off
ran
that.
first, had a smoking time, and then Clay came right behind him and reset that.
Shaved off almost a second.
So Cooper, who is sitting in the number 1 spot, came in second on the first course. And again, Clay is definitely going to try to come out and get back to that number 1 spot.
Their times were really close, like a second apart, too, weren't they?
It was. There was not much. Again, Cooper and Clay have both been battling out this season.
So Clay doesn't have much of a cushion, in other words. Even
He
if he
does
messes
not.
up, yeah.
Again, even if you go to that combined time, there's fractions of a second between them probably.
Mm-hmm.
Making quick work of that uphill section.
people don't understand either what kind of just one little bit of a bump in your momentum, especially going up these hills. You get out of the gas for literally a quarter of a second and don't get right back into it, and that could be the difference between you winning and losing.
Yeah.
Or you winning or finishing 5th.
Yes. And again, we've had races where there's been fractions between, second, third, and fourth.
Have you ever had your foot get bounced off the gas pedal?
In the big car?
I've had that happen in the bouncer before.
So in the big car,
you're like, come on!
I didn't put the shield on the transmission shield back on it after I crashed it at Hawk Ride, and when I raced it at Bikini Bottoms.
Here we go.
There we go.
Uh-oh.
That's a 74.277 for Clay. Still a great time, but Cooper's still in the lead with a 70.
And again, you got to look at the split now. Again, if it finishes out this way, first and second, and then second and first, we have to go to combined times.
Right.
Who's going to end up with that faster combined time? That's what's going to decide for the today. But again, we got Paul Wolf to still run. We have a couple of guys.
No, Paul already ran.
Yeah,
but we do still have Brandon Davis, Cody Kaysen, Dylan Dowler's on the line right now. We can still get this shook up a little bit.
Yeah. But they were 1 and 2 on one, and so they were 1 and 2 right now on hill 2 . So somebody's going to have to come off with some big times. Yeah.
So either somebody's going to have to squeeze in between the two, or we're going to have to go to combined times again. With our VIN class, we had a 3-way tie for first. I'm like, we had to go to combined times. We had a 3-way tie for first place.
I don't think if we've ever had that happen before.
At Dirt Nasty, Spencer Grindstaff and I, on one of their Hilltop Madness events, we actually tied all the way down to the thousandths of a second. Our run for that's the first time I'd ever seen it tied
that. I've seen that happen like one time between like Brandon and Cash or something like that.
Cash
it
ran
was all the way to the thousands.
Yeah,
it's crazy. You think you go in this course is 2 minutes or a minute long, a minute and a half long. How in the world are you going to be that close?
We saw Timmy, I think it was at finals last year or year before, where Timmy and Cash in the side-by-sides ran the exact same time. It was crazy.
Another one of the crazy times I've seen was when Danny was racing the Liberty buggy, and he got a 17.76.
Oh. Yes.
Crazy?
I do remember
That's
that.
wild.
That was nice. It was pretty cool.
Could not do that if you absolutely tried hundreds of times. You couldn't have done it.
No, yeah.
This is Dylan Dowler.
Yeah, and this was Kyle Cahill's old chassis that he that he flipped at Visions on that big tabletop that he flipped over pretty bad.
I do remember that.
You remember Johnny's regulator buggy did the same thing.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking of when Johnny did it.
So here's the deal. But
Those were both pretty bad.
The Cahills saw me almost do that twice in practice. I landed the nose on it straight up and down. Timmy said I was over 90. He said I was on the hill, thought there's no way you'd save that, and pulled it out. And then they tried that in the race after they saw me do it in practice.
78.972 for Dylan.
Yeah, Dylan's pretty quick. He's going to get he gets a little bit more seat time in this chassis.
Yeah.
He's going to be a threat for sure.
I agree.
Yeah.
And whose chassis was this?
This was Kyle Cahill's.
Kyle Cahill's, okay.
And they're into Can-M's now. I think him and his father both have Can-M's
got good looking chassis
that they've built.
Yeah, good looking chassis.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I like the red and the white, or the red and the aluminum. I'm not sure exactly. Again, what it's either red, white, or red and aluminum.
Yeah, Dylan's big time into orange though, so that's why the orange net's there.
I
would imagine that there's probably going to be more orange on it before it's over with. I think everything he owns is orange. It's about like me and blue. So
it's a trademark.
Yeah.
Casey Howell on the line now.
Talking about Casey, man, he's coming on too.
Casey had a third place time on Hill 1.
He's so young, and you talk about just such great people. Him and his father.
Yes.
I mean, they're pretty local to here too. They're not far away. I think they're in like a little close to Berea.
Okay.
He had some great runs at Disney a couple of years ago too.
He's impressive, man. I'm telling you, he's going to get there. I think he's going to try to run all season this year and try to run points all season.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. Again, this is Casey Howell out there running right now. This is our second course of the day here at Wildcat Off-Road Park near London, Kentucky. It's actually in East Bernstadt, Kentucky, near London.
You guys are watching the RCB Axle UTV Cup class. We've got a handful of drivers left, maybe about 5 or so. And that's going to wrap up our day of racing out here at Wildcat. And then we'll be back tomorrow with another 3 classes. Wyatt, how close is this park to you?
I'm about an hour and 40 minutes from here.
Oh, I'm so
jealous.
This
and Hollerwood, about the same for me. So this was what I would consider my home park.
Okay.
Terry and Vanessa that own this property, they don't really run the park per se, but they own the property, and they are such great people. And I mean, this park's really pretty. It has a lot of places in it that are just beautiful scenery. And
yes, I said last year we went up to where the Outlook is at.
The dome,
it's incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty cool up there, and they
88.824 for Casey Howe.
Yeah, they were widening the interstate, and Terry thought that they were going to lose the dome. Yeah. And when they widened it, they thought they were going to shoot it off and lose that whole spot, and just out
it's
of
neat. I mean, literally, you can look straight down almost 500 feet. It's crazy looking.
I haven't been there.
Oh, you literally look down, and you can literally look straight down 500 feet.
Well, and you look across the interstate, both sets of the interstate, and you can look over that reservoir.
There's like a big water, and there's some mountains on there. It's incredible. It's
pretty cool.
From here at the
yes.
park?
Yep. Oh. It's on this side, too. So when you come through this side of the gate, instead of coming on down here, if you go left, you'll go around there, and it's right up there. It's called the Dome. It's one of the biggest.
I've never done any riding here. I always just come to the race area. But I know they've got over 100 miles of trails here.
Yeah, this one right here is
2,000 acres here at Wildcat.
Yeah, there you go, Matt. Yeah, this one is so cool because it would be great to come to watch a race and then be able to ride the rest of the day here. Because I mean, there is some beautiful scenery in here.
Yeah, if you walk up to the edge there, you can literally look straight down to the interstate. It's like 500 feet straight down or something. It's crazy.
I'm not really going to do that.
It was neat. We walked over. You kind of
no thanks. I choose life.
Yeah. I need a. The saying they say, with an age comes cage. And that's what I'm. That's my standard anymore. So. Let's go, Brandon.
Got Brandon Davis on the line here, Cheryl's husband.
Talking about committed to the sport.
Oh, yeah. Again, we were just talking about that, him racing this Can-Am and stock class and the UTV Cup Series for, 2-3 years now?
Yeah.
So this thing has gotten absolutely so much abuse. He had like 3 or 4 side-by-sides and 2 or 3 bouncers, and he goes, it's getting to be a little much in the garage. He's like, my entire garage basically is just all my toys, so...
Yeah, he's whittled it down now,
though. He whittled it down to 2. He's like, I have a bouncer and a side-by-side, and that's it.
Yeah.
And he still races both classes, which, again, gets him some seat time, helps him feel some stuff out,
I was trying to get Timmy to come and race Bounty with us, because I was trying to get Timmy to race Bounty with us.
His new buggy looks good.
For a while, and he was always giving me it's a lot to do on Saturday. Big car, little car,
Has
and
he
everything.
ever raced Bounty?
I don't think so.
I don't think he has.
So I told him, I said, all right, well, since you don't have a big car yet, you can come, and you and I will try to beat big bouncer times.
Yeah.
We won't even try to compare ourselves to the small cars.
Yeah.
We'll just try to compare ourselves to the big cars.
He could probably do it, too.
Even though I was just trying to say whatever to get him back out here. I'm sure it won't be long, and he'll be ready to come back. But
I'd love to see him come do Bounty.
Yeah. I mean,
it'd be cool. Just because it would be neat to see how close his times were to a big car.
Yeah, I mean, it's, depending on what the hills are, I don't know how Clyde's going to take it easy on us tomorrow.
Yeah, it's not. He's not.
Yeah,
I know. Brandon flying through that finish line.
That's an 84.827. Man, our fastest time still Cooper Bentley with a 70.7.
Wow. Again, coming out making a statement. Cooper finished second on that first course. Clay Kaysen finishing first. So, again, right now it's kind of a tie-up. We got to go to adding up our times to see what's going to end up being, who's going to end up being our first and second for the day, and that's if nobody else knocks them down.
Well, we do still have Cody Kaysen in the lineup, and we've got Robert Traynor at the race line starting gate right now. We also have Ryan Kegley and Derek Schaefer.
All right. Trailer, as soon as we finish racing, y'all stick around. We're going to let Cody announce the winner. It's come down to some really tight times, and you may think you know.
Glad to see some of these guys like Robert and stuff. They're still hanging on. They just started a year or so ago, and they really
great. Really like that chassis. That purple is really sharp.
Yeah, it takes a year or two to really get to the parks, get to comfortable that you've been on these hills before.
Yep.
I mean, it's not something that you just show up and you're immediately killing everybody.
You don't show up and walk the first day. You got to learn how to walk, and
typically Clay and Cody have hit the ground running pretty hard with their efforts, though. So
this year they're absolutely both hammering down.
It's not like it's not possible, but
again, Robert has a sharp chassis. We appreciate that. That purple is really nice. Again, I think the course tomorrow is going to be interesting. Again, it's similar to what they're doing right now.
Yeah.
For our first course, it's similar to what they're doing right now.
Are we on these? Are we on this?
Yes, tomorrow at the second course we are.
This one?
Yes.
Okay. Is Bill been out here hammering on these rocks again?
Oh, yeah. Using saws and everything else.
No rock work, huh? Well, you know, he's been pretty hard on it.
All right. We got
Get up here.
Nathan King
hand
coming
it
out
over
of the
to
booth.
this guy that rebuilds cars and
So talking about doing like the impossible, we actually showed, as you pulled the starting line, we cut to your replay of your first course, and then we cut back, and by that time you were pulling the starting gate. I'm like, yeah, that rollover, the guy with
How did you
where
get
the
it back
guy
together
yard
that
sailed the
fast?
car and basically wadded it up. Yeah, that was an hour ago, and now you're pulling to the starting line. Again, you're sitting fifth currently in points on the second course.
Oh, wow.
Let's get Robert's time real quick. 83.934 for Robert Trainer.
So?
Yeah, so did you just have like 20 people working on it? Or?
We did. Big thanks to Casey Howe. He helped us out. Big thanks to Kai, I think his name was. I met him for the first time. He's a big help. A bunch of people. My dad. It was awesome that we got it running. Luckily, it wasn't too many parts. Like the parts that did break broke really bad.
Yeah.
But
what all did you break?
So I had the thing that caused me to flip was the hub breaking.
Well, you could go back and watch the live feed. It is we must have had the greatest shot ever. You can see like the tie rod snap, and when it snaps, it's just a chain reaction.
Right. It turned out to not be the tie rod. That held up great. It was the bottom part of the hub that holds the ball joint on.
Okay.
So that just made my wheel fly out. The tie rods were good, and that's still what's on the buggy. So that was kind of lucky.
Yeah, you can see that wheel kind of snap.
Right.
In the luckily it's a beautiful replay.
Yeah, I heard y'all were playing it quite a few times. Maybe it's skinny pedal worthy.
Yeah.
Which I didn't. I wasn't on the skinny pedal.
Right here.
It was. I didn't have brakes. That's why that whole thing happened.
We heard that. It was lack of skinny,
right.
lack of brakes, not application.
But I'll say I was
pedal.
in the gas. Yeah, it makes it sound cooler, right?
What other? You broke the hub. What else you break?
Hub, trailing arm, radius rod. The trailing arm took most of the hit.
Yeah.
My exhaust, I broke it off.
Get her done.
That's about it though. So we were able to replace that pretty quickly.
Yeah. Did you have spare exhaust in the trailer?
This
I
is
did not.
Ryan Kegley out on the course now.
Okay.
We put metal zip ties so they wouldn't melt.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah, we were impressed to see you pull back up to the starting line.
I was surprised myself, but with mechanics like I had on my team.
Bro, that was impressive.
Your pit crew is on point.
Right. Trained them well.
Yeah, we were very surprised. I was like, well, I mean, if you broke a ball joint or something, maybe you can get it swapped out, or a tie rod. Maybe you got a spare tie rod you can throw on there.
Well, I haven't seen you since your knockout race roll either.
That was rowdy as well.
After that?
That was the other trailing arm that I messed up at that race. So I've gone through a whole set of trailing arms in the past, 3 races?
Yeah, get her done.
But yeah, other than that, that wreck actually wasn't that bad. The chassis took most. Well, it was a bad wreck, but in terms of suspension, it was just fine. My chassis right here on the pillar, it took all the hit. So the chassis is not in great condition, but the suspension was pretty easy to fix.
Well, we got one more race coming up here in Arkansas soon, and as soon as that one's over, then we have a pretty good summer break.
Right.
A little bit of break to get,
Oh, come on, Robert.
any major repairs done.
Or Ryan, sorry, this is Ryan Kegley.
Again, Ryan with that sharp chassis and a good-looking wrap there. Are you guys racing tomorrow too, or?
Madison definitely will be. I don't know without brakes if I'll be doing it. Y'all could tell I came down the hill pretty slowly.
We did, and I thought, well, look, his brakes are working great. And then Bree said, well, or he's in 4 low. I said, well,
I put it in low at the top of the hill there, and I only had 2 brakes on the machine. The other 2 were zip tied.
119.219 for Ryan Kegley. We only got 2 racers left?
I think so. We've
Cody Kaysen sitting up there in the starting gate. Again, he's a guy that could knock everybody down a little bit.
He can. He is a very fast driver, and he loves a wide-open course like this.
Yeah.
Well, Cooper came out the gate and put down the fastest time, and nobody has
Yeah.
come close
Right.
to it yet.
And that's impressive to see a guy come out first, lay a smoking timeout, and then not be touched the whole race.
Right.
Yeah.
That is
Especially when we've got almost 20
Yes.
drivers.
that's a pretty, and we got some stout drivers putting down some time
Right.
too. That is really cool to see.
Sounds like it's a stuttering a little bit.
It didn't sound quite right on Hill 1 either. I noticed that.
Hopefully it clears out.
Daddy's money might need some more. Daddy's money.
Might need a little more money on there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, right there where he's at, it's getting dug out worse and worse.
Really?
When I pulled up to it, I was like, dang, this is a lot worse than when I walked it.
Walked it, yeah. Well, and again, having, there was already pretty loose dirt, a lot of that, so having rain dump on it, then everybody's, kind of flinging it off even easier. I'm interested to see what the course is going to look like tomorrow. Again, they're
Right.
calling for a couple inches of rain tonight, so depending on how much rain we get tomorrow, the course might be very interesting for
Right.
at least the first half of the day.
It'll make it a lot harder
Yeah,
because the hills are already pretty challenging tomorrow.
yeah.
All right, down that Mickey Thompson mountainside.
Again, thrashing through
Little
there.
Franklin flutter there.
Again, seeing that hairpin turn there, I think you're going to see some bouncers have issues there tomorrow. Again, because we're coming down pretty snug and tight
Right.
there.
Rear steer is going to help a bunch.
Oh, yeah, huge, huge. Again, the guys that have it, you'll definitely see it being a plus. Go, baby, go.
Powered through the finish.
84.221.
Finishing right behind Nathan King, who we have in the booth with us here. You had an 83 on that one, so just, again, squeaking right ahead of Cody.
Yeah, looking back now, I wish I would have gone faster. I was just trying to complete, but looking that I could have competed, I was like, dang, I should have.
And again, after having that DNF, getting some good chunk of points, and again, with having that top, 15, 20 drivers here, just completing the course already puts you at a 30 points,
Right.
So that's a lot different than having the 10. So huge difference there. And then again, if you can actually push up, like you're right now, you're sitting at sixth place. If you can push up in that top 5, you can still knock
Right.
out a good chunk of points there, which again play a big role later in
Right.
the season when you're hitting that 8th, 9th, 10th race.
Yeah, I was sitting number 1 before this race, and I think I messed that up pretty bad.
Yeah.
But you did get the Skinny Pedal nominee.
Hey, trophy's a trophy, I guess.
Yeah. I always say, that's like a trophy that you win, but it's not when you want to win.
Right, right.
Like,
It's a very expensive trophy.
it really is. Usually it's not what you have to do to get that trophy is not worth the trophy. Like, I don't want this. I mean, thank you, but I don't want this.
Right.
Derek Schaefer is wrapping things up for us today in the RCV Axle UTV Cup class.
Derek had a good weekend last weekend in Sugar Creek. I think he ended up second, so I'm sure he's still on a high from that. So hopefully he finishes well this weekend too.
Yeah.
That section right there was tricky. I was sliding my 2 brakes that I had. And
Nathan, what's your favorite park to race at?
That is a great question, and is a very unpopular opinion, but I love Disney, Oklahoma. That has always been a dream park for me. And
you like the rocks, huh?
I love the rocks because I run Rockzillas quite a bit, and it gives me a little bit of an advantage there. But yeah, I love that park. Most people hate it.
That's an 83.085 from Derek Schaefer. That does finish up our day of racing out here at Wildcat Off-Road Park. Matt, do you want to give us a quick rundown from course 2?
Again, we had, looks like 17 drivers in that second one. Cooper Bentley coming in, racing first, hanging on to that number 1 spot. Absolutely incredible. High five to Cooper Bentley for coming in, blazing that trail, and being able to hang on to that number 1 spot through the entire running order. Clay Kaysen coming in second, and again, now we're going to go to combined times for that podium spot. Dylan Dowler coming in third, Paul Wolf coming in fourth, Derek Schaefer coming in fifth, Robert Trainer coming in sixth, Derek Schaefer coming in seventh, Nathan King coming in eighth, Cody Kaysen coming in ninth, Brandon Davis coming in 10th. Madison King coming 11th. Casey Howe coming in 12th. Dan Carter coming in 13th. Tyler Bradley coming in 14th. Jason Mills coming in 15th. Ryan Keegley coming in 16th. And Austin Connell having a DNF. Again, great job. Appreciate you coming out of the booth with us. When I seen you in the starting gate, I was just like, who is it? Like, who are the maniacs that rebuilt this rig? Like, again, it was great seeing the replay on the screen here in front of us. Literally, and the ends the replay and cuts the camera of you sitting in the starting gate. I'm like, that was video was taken an hour ago, you know? Yeah, now we got in the booth. Watch this video.
Let's
see this.
You can literally see the front wheel snap right as soon as we cut to the camera.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
was
like,
slamming on the brakes
right
right
into
here.
the
Right
bank.
here, you can see that front wheel just, and then at that point, you were just kind of along for the ride, but and you had a smoking run going.
It felt good. I had some strategies that not many people tried.
I think you had a number one spot run going.
And you were still going to try and go there, weren't
I
you?
wanted to.
We
I was
could
looking
see
at
you in
eyes.
there,
I was
yeah.
trying to look at people to see if they were sitting here like, go.
In the video, you could see you go like this. You go like this. And I was like, he's still wanting to run. Again, it was great. You have to go back and actually watch the live stream because you instantly go like this, like, come on, can I go? And I was like, I know that he's trying to want to go. Like, am I good? All the wheels still on?
That's what I was like. I was looking at eyes to see if people were like surprised or if people were yelling at me to go. And I didn't get much of a reaction. People were just blown away that I was asking to go.
Yeah. You can instantly, again, go back and watch live, and you can see you going like, come on. I'm like, he's wanting to just take that thing and terrorize it. But
yeah, sitting in that number one spot, all I wanted to do was go through the finish line.
Yeah.
But we
And
still
again,
got a long season
you
ahead.
had a smoking run going, definitely. Again, you can go back and listen to the audio. We were definitely cheering you on. Had a smoking run. I would say a top first finish for that course.
Well, I appreciate that. It felt good. It felt fast.
Again, it kind of sucks because you have that possibility of wrecking as you're going downhill.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, that's kind of what you need to be if you're trying to push it to that top tier position. So, kind of sucks that it ended up that way. But still got the points, got on the board the second half of the day, and definitely are in the running for the skinny pedal.
Right.
So.
That's
right. Definitely go out. Vote for me for skinny pedal.
Yeah, I
Somewhat
think
deserving.
he's definitely up in that top tier position right now for that skinny pedal. Again, not a award you want to win, but
speaking of skinny pedal, we announced earlier, but in case you missed it, our winner from our season opener race at Windrock was Ethan Jones. He had a pretty epic finish.
Yes.
And lift off.
He took an escalator to the top of that hill.
You
So
can catch the compilation video from our race at Disney coming next week. That should be on the website on Monday, and you guys can go watch that and cast your vote for our winner from Disney.
And again,
Monday
we'll be
around
starting
noon.
tomorrow around 9 o'clock drivers meeting, 9:30 with kicking off the live feed.
Yep,
Again,
and we are on Eastern time.
Yep.
Here
Again, we're
in Kentucky.
Wildcat Off-Road Park. This is our third race of the season for the National Rock Racing Association. So we will see you guys tomorrow.
Awesome.